everybody, it's Amanda and welcome back to my channel where you can learn how to go within. Today's video is going to be all about moon signs. What are moon signs exactly? So moon signs describe your emotions, how you feel on the inside, kind of like how your soul feels and what your soul really wants. Moon signs are so cool, and the thing that's really cool about moon signs is that a lot of people in your life actually really will never get to find out your moon sign. It's only the people who are really close to you that actually get to know your moon sign, because it kind of deals with all your moods and how, like I said, how you feel on the inside, your emotions and stuff like that. So only people who like live with you or are like really close to you can kind of see like your real genuine moon side. Mood sign. Anyways, as fascinating as that is, you can find out your moon sign by going to cafeastrology.com. I'll put the link down below and pin it to the comment section as well as in the description. And to find out your moon sign, basically all you do is you type in the city that you were born. So you want to type your date of birth to find out your sun sign, the city you were born to find out your moon sign, and the time you were born to find out your rising sign. Whatever city you were born in, whatever constellation the moon was in that particular city is what determines your moon sign. So basically in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be describing each moon sign and kind of what it is and what it means and how people with those specific moon signs kind of act. So I'm going to be going over all 12 signs of the zodiac. We are using Western Tropical Astrology here. In the order, I'm going to be going through Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So the timestamps will also be pinned down in the comment section. So this way you could literally just fast forward to whatever sign that you're trying to watch for. So please remember that this is for moon signs. It is not your sun sign, it is not your rising sign. I'm only going to be talking about moon signs, which, like I said, is your true inner emotions on the inside. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with people with an Aries moon. So the first and youngest sign of the zodiac, Aries. First of all, Aries is a fire sign, so that kind of explains a lot already. You could probably tell that the moon is ruled by your emotions, and if you have an Aries moon, and if you have like a fire moon sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, automatically you're going to be very passionate when it comes to your emotions, and you're just going to be not always outgoing necessarily, but fire sign moons are usually just genuinely very fun people and are just very passionate people as well. So the first thing to know about people with an Aries moon is that people with this moon sign love challenges. They want challenges, they like to be challenged. Like, for example, these people are most likely the chasers in the relationship because they love the challenge of somebody, you know, kind of playing hard to get or whatever, and them trying to like get their attention and stuff like that. So even though people with the Aries moon like challenges and they like to be challenged, they still need assistance with certain things. They sometimes do need a little help. They are the youngest sign of the zodiac, so please keep that in mind. Which means that if you're the youngest sign of the zodiac, chances are your inner child is brought out more. You're probably, you probably act more like a kid, at times than the other signs do. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Bringing out your inner child is a beautiful thing. And so sometimes people with Aries moons need help. They need assistance with certain things. They like to be guided in certain ways. So they love to learn, they love to be challenged, but they also need that extra little assistance and that extra little push just to make sure that they're on the right track. Another thing about Aries moons is that their wants turn into desires. Like, if an Aries moon wants something, they don't just want it, they need to have it. It's a necessity to them, it's a desire to them, and if they don't get it, then they're going to make sure they do their best to get it. Another thing about people with the Aries moon is that they love action. These are the type of people that literally love to go skydiving, love to go running, love to play sports, anything physical activity with action. Aries is ruled by planet Mars, and Mars is the planet of action, war, and sex. Aries moon people just need to move around. They like to hustle, they like to move around. They're probably the people who are working and are really busting their, do you know what I mean? Because they just love to move, they just love to be on the go. It just makes them feel really good. And it's interesting too, I find that a lot of Aries love to work out, and it's because they're ruled by Mars, which is the planet of action, so that totally makes sense. But yeah, if you have an Aries moon, you're very action oriented too, especially when it comes to your emotions. So that's why I say if you are dating an Aries moon, or you know someone who's an Aries moon, they're probably very good in bed, because emotions and action together, that makes sex, right? Another thing about people with the Aries moon is they tend to have like this need to be first. They love to be first in like whatever they do. If you're in a group of people and you guys are all trying something new, the Aries moon is probably going to be like, I'm going to go first, I'm going to demonstrate how to do this, I want to try this out first. They just love that challenge, they love to be first. Another thing about this moon sign is that they really love to be turned on. And that's why I keep relating sex into this, because Aries are just very sexual people, like period, end of story. But people with Aries moons though, they do get turned on very easily, and you know, it's funny because they always don't get necessarily turned on by people. Sometimes it's even just events or like a nice song that'll turn them on, or like just having fun will turn them on, like at the beach or whatever. Like they just love to feel alive. They love to feel flirty, turned on, alive, free. Like that is just Aries. They just love to live their life. They just love to enjoy their life, especially Aries moons, because they just love to put all their emotion into life and just love it, live it, and have fun with it. And then the last thing to really know about an Aries moon specifically is the fact that they like are kind of demanding about attention. So don't get this the wrong way. Don't think like if you are dating an Aries moon or something that they're going to be like super clingy people, because that's not the case. Aries are not necessarily clingy people. It's just people with Aries moons, they do like a lot of attention. They do like to be reassured, or they just like to like know that you feel the same way about them as they feel about you. You know what I mean? They just like reassurance like that. But overall, people with the Aries moon sign are very amazing people. They love to be challenged. They love to move around, live life free, alive, happy, and they just love to be turned on and be happy by life. Like that is just an Aries moon in general. So now moving on to people with a Taurus moon. So for starters, Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is generally just a very stable sign. They're very grounded people. They love routine usually, and they just love the comfort in beauty and life and other luxurious things, or just comforting things really. Specifically though, people with a Taurus moon sign, they really crave stability. So this is really, if you're a Taurus sun, moon, or rising, you're going to crave stability, because I feel like this is one of the main signs that has to do with stability. But if you are a Taurus moon, it's something that you really desire in your emotions. Like for example, like if you're in a relationship and you're a Taurus moon, chances are you're going to want some sort of stability and balance within the relationship. If there's no stability in the relationship, chances are the Taurus moon is not going to stay long, because they love to be stable, solid, and grounded. Another thing about people with a Taurus moon is that they love material comforts. People who have a Taurus moon will probably like decorate their house all cozy. They're probably, you know, one of the people that'll have a fireplace in their house with like cozy, soft blankets and a luxurious bath with some rose petals in it and some like little bath bombs that smell really good and candles lit everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like Tauruses just love touch. They love touch. They're ruled by planet Venus as well. This is the planet of love and sensuality, and Taurus is the sign of like the five senses. They're very keen with their five senses. They can really sense a lot. They're very sensing kind of people, and people with the Taurus moon too especially, they will make sure that their home is comforting and somewhere that they just want to chill in, because Tauruses also really love to chill. They'd rather watch a nice movie on Netflix than go out and party all the time. So people with a Taurus moon, they chances are have a very nice comfortable house, somewhere where they can just relax. You know, if you're ever thinking about getting a gift for somebody who has a Taurus moon, I highly recommend getting them like scented candles, blankets, you know, just things that they could touch, even food, because Tauruses love food and they do love good wine as well, especially the Taurus moon. They just like to feel comfortable in general. Another thing to know about a Taurus moon is that they really crave affection as well. Taurus is a very loving sign. I am a Taurus sun, so I do have Taurus in my chart, so I am very familiar with it. We just love everyone. Like, even if they're a bad person, we just tend to see the good in everybody, and that's the same with the Taurus moon. They will see the good in everyone, and they just want affection. They want to be reassured. They want to feel loved. They want you to, you know, like, pour your emotions out to them, because they're a very affectionate sign. Even though they're the bull and they seem all tough, strong, and you know, they're still deep down a very loving sign that just wants to be pet all the time and cuddled with all the time. Another thing about Taurus moon people is that a lot of them really love beauty. They love beauty in everything. That's because they're ruled by Venus, planet of love and sensuality, planet of beauty. They love anything that's beautiful. Like, I know people say not to judge a book by its cover, but with Taurus moons, they just love anything that's pretty. They love anything that looks just nice, clean, neat, and just beautiful. You know what I mean? A lot of people who are Taurus moon are also very beautiful. I mean, but everybody's beautiful in their own way. But generally, like in the face especially, like they tend to have those really nice facial features, Taurus moons, and a lot of them are probably really good at putting on makeup or good at like wearing stylish clothes and just stuff like that, because they just love anything that's beautiful, so they will try to make themselves look as beautiful as they can as well. The next thing to know about a Taurus moon sign is that these people really love to build relationships that are long lasting, or just things in general that are long lasting. They like to know that they're putting their effort into something that's going to benefit them long term. Whether this is a job, whether this is a relationship, whether this is like their home life or whatever. Anything that pertains to long term, they just want to make sure that they are building something long lasting, because they like to know that all the hard work that they're putting in is going to benefit them in the long run. Another thing about Taurus moons that a lot of people kind of dislike, I guess, is just the fact that they're a little too security obsessed. And I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, that just means, like, if you're dating a Taurus moon, like, they know what they're doing with their money, baby, so don't think that is a bad thing at all. Like, people need to learn how to be good with their money anyway, and Taurus moons are very good with money. They're the type of people that will already have their will set, or will already have, you know, their finances just in line all the time. Or if it's just not in line all the time, it just has to be in their head somehow. Like, they have to make it to where their finances are okay, because finances are super important to the Taurus moon signs. Seriously, even the Taurus sun signs and the Taurus rising signs. Security and money is very important to them, and if they don't have that, they get scattered and confused and just lost in life, and they just do not know what to do. So they always have to make sure that they have that security financial foundation for them. And the last thing to really know about a Taurus moon sign is that they always want returned emotional investment. So in other words, if you're in a relationship with a Taurus moon and you're only really giving them half and they're giving you all, they're probably going to leave you, because Taurus moons want the same affection reciprocated back to them. And if they don't get that, they will leave, they will walk away. Taurus moons love to be reassured. Like I said, they like to do things that are going to last them long term. And it's like, if they're putting in all this emotional effort and emotional investment into you, and you're not giving it back to them, then they can't see you as long term, so they're just gonna leave. So if you are dating a Taurus moon and you're really falling for them, always make sure you are giving them the same amount of emotional affection as they are giving it to you, because first of all, they do deserve it, and second of all, it'll just really keep them sane and keep them from not walking away from you, because Taurus moons just love to know that they are appreciated. So the next moon sign that we're going to be talking about is the Gemini moon. I'm actually a Gemini moon, so woo! If you're a Gemini moon as well, comment down below. I want to meet my other Gemini moon friends. But anyways, I am very familiar with the zodiac sign, as I am a Gemini moon, so I can tell you a lot from my own experience as well as from facts. But the first thing to really know about somebody who's a Gemini moon is the fact that they need constant communication. And this is so freaking true. And I like to freaking talk, okay? And if I'm not like constantly like socializing, it kind of bothers me. Like, don't get me wrong, I like my alone time. I can keep my mouth shut for a long time and just chill and just relax. I feel like that's the Taurus in me though, but Gemini moons especially, like, they just need communication. And if you're dating a Gemini moon and you're just a very shy person and you really don't like to talk that much, I feel like the Gemini might kind of wander a little bit off just because of the fact that Gemini moon people just really love to talk. They do. They love to socialize. They love to talk. Geminis in general just love to talk. For example, my mom is also a Gemini, and she texts me like paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs like a book because she's a Gemini. She just loves to talk. She loves to socialize, and Geminis just do that. I will talk to you for a long time. Like, I will probably have a conversation with you all night if you're down to like talk all night with me. So yeah, Geminis love constant communication. They love to keep their brain going and going and going, because the thing about Gemini moons is that our brains do not stop. They keep going and going and going, and therefore that just allows us to talk more because we have so much to say because our brains are always going. The next thing to know about a Gemini moon is that they constantly in their brain, because it's always going and going and going, are always coming up with new creative ideas. Gemini's moons are super creative people. They love to just think about creative ideas. They love to think about new things that they can like put into the world. And even if it's not super creative, they just love to think like about things they can do to like benefit the world somehow. But for many Gemini moons, it is very creative. Like, a lot of Gemini moon people are artists, rappers, poets, stuff like that, because they just really are good with communication, as they are ruled by planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So that explains why Geminis love to talk, and that explains why that their brains are always going and they're always coming up with new ideas. A lot of Gemini moon people as well are probably YouTubers or people on television, or, you know, like I said, writers, or just something of that sort where they can literally just communicate back and forth to somebody. Gemini moons love to talk, they love to communicate, and they love to share their ideas as well as learn. The next thing to know about Gemini moons, which really kind of goes hand in hand with what I just said, is they love stimulating dialogue. Like, yes, Geminis love to talk, but at the same time, they also like to talk about things that are stimulating their mind. They like to keep their mind going. They like to learn new things. They like to talk about things that, you know, they can learn or people can learn from them. They're very intellectual people. They love to just constantly keep their mind like going. Literally, like, the mind of a Gemini moon is like a sponge. Like, they want to hold everything that they can know in their head and just like tell everyone about it. Another thing about Gemini moons that is actually really, really fascinating is that they are usually drawn to kindred spirits and the meeting of the minds. A lot of Gemini moon people can talk to the dead, communicate with the dead, communicate with ghosts, or a lot of them are just very spiritual people, like maybe tarot readers or like sidekicks or something like that, where they're literally just being spiritual. Another thing about Geminis is the meeting of the minds kind of thing. Like, when you're a Gemini moon, it is so easy for somebody to have a soul connection with them, because Gemini moons love meeting of the mind. It's really cool when you look into the eyes of somebody who has a Gemini moon, because when you do that, you'll be able to see their soul, or at least they'll be able to see your soul. That's the cool thing about Gemini moons, and I find that too. Like, I can literally look in the eyes of people and see their soul without really having to look deep into it. It's kind of just there. Like, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope that does make sense. But yeah, they're just really good at like seeing the good in people, I guess, seeing who people really are on the inside without even knowing them really. Like, a Gemini moon could literally just look at somebody and be like, holy, like, I know you and we haven't even met yet. It's super, super weird. Another thing about Gemini moons is the fact that they can be very, very indecisive. I know I can be, for sure, because Gemini is actually the twins, and they always say, you know, it's hot and cold, which is very true. Gemini moons can also be very moody at times, which is very, very true. I know I can be moody sometimes, but they are very indecisive as well. So if you kind of ask somebody with a Gemini moon a question, they might be very hesitant at first to like answer the question and give you like a direct answer, because they're very, very indecisive. They tend to juggle back and forth things on what they really want. They don't always know what they want. So that is a little flaw about people with a Gemini moon, but overall, these people will always eventually come to a decision. It just takes them a little longer to come to a decision. And the last thing to know about Gemini moons is that they like people who can literally mirror and reflect things back to them. They like somebody who's kind of like thinking the way they're thinking and like reflecting off of what they're doing, and then they're reflecting off of you and you're reflecting off of them, and it's just like a mirror. They like people who kind of already know like what they want, if that makes sense. That is mainly Gemini moons, and like I said, super creative people, very good communicators, and can be indecisive, but overall they're very spiritual, wise people. The next moon sign we're going to be talking about is people with Cancer moons. So somebody who has a Cancer moon sign, chances are they're probably definitely a homebody. People with a Cancer moon love to stay at home. They love to just chill, Netflix, clean the house, cook dinner, all that jazz, okay? They just love to be home. They love the comfort of their own home. I'm not saying if you have a Cancer moon you don't really like to go out and party or anything like that, but the majority of people who do have a Cancerian moon, they really do like to be at home because they like the comfort and the safety of their own home. They feel safe in their own home, and I feel like that's why they really like it so much. And plus, Cancer also does rule the 4th house, which is all about family and home life. So that would only make sense that people with a Cancer moon just love to stay at home. They do love their family very much. Their family is very important to them, and they always want to make sure that their loved ones are safe. Another thing to know about people with a Cancer moon is that they need a lot of nurturing. Yes, they are people who like to help other people and nurture other people as well. They do have that very maternal kind of energy. People who do have a Cancer moon, though, do expect reciprocation when it comes to nurturing. They want you to nurture them just like they nurture you. They like to know that they're with somebody who can give exactly what they're giving to their partner. Like I said, my next point, safety and family, kind of goes with what I just said. They just love to feel safe. And I feel like a lot of people who have a Cancer moon just like to spend most of their time with their family, really. They don't really like to venture off too much. Like, some people might love to go on adventures and excursions and all that stuff. It always depends what else is in your chart, by the way. But people with a Cancer moon, they're not very much risk takers. Cancer is a water sign, so they'd rather play it safe than kind of take risks. That's a good thing too, because it's nice to just relax and settle down. You don't always have to be go party all the time, you know what I mean? So Cancer moons are really cool because they can always appreciate what they have, appreciate their own home, appreciate their family, and appreciate what they already have right in front of them, and know that they are set, they are safe, and they are good. Another thing about Cancer moons that's kind of similar to Taurus moon people is the fact that they love cozy clothes, food, and animals. Like I said, Cancers love to be in their home. Like, they just do. Like, especially people who are Cancer moons, they just love the comfort of their own home. So their home is probably decorated so nicely. They probably have cozy blankets everywhere, nice fluffy pillows. They probably have like such yummy food and cute little animals running around their house. If you know anyone who's a Cancer moon, chances are they probably have a dog or a cat or some type of pet if they're not like allergic or something like that, because Cancer moon people just love animals. They really do. They see animals as like the light in their life, like straight up. But I guess who doesn't really? But Cancers really do appreciate animals, good food, and cozy clothes. You'll probably see them wearing a lot of comfortable clothes and you're just like, oh my god, that shirt looks so cozy, like I just want to wear it. Where did you get it? Always ask a Cancer because they know where to shop for the most comfortable clothes for sure. Another thing about Cancer moon people is that they do require a lot of reassurance. I'm assuming this is just because they are a water sign, you know what I mean? Because water signs are very emotional, very sensitive. They just like to feel loved. They're very emotional people. They just like to, you know, and when you have Cancer moon, Cancer is ruled by the moon as well. So I find too, which is interesting, that people who are Cancers or have a Cancer moon, the moon really does affect them, like straight up. Like if there's a full moon outside, like that will affect a Cancer. If there's a waxing moon, waning moon, whatever it is, like no matter what kind of phase of the moon that the sky is in right now, just know that if you have a Cancer moon or Cancer sun or Cancer something, you're going to be affected by that moon, especially with a Cancer moon, because it's ruled by the moon. So it really does kind of mess with their emotions a lot, and that's the thing about Cancers too, they can like feel other people's emotions, which is really, really cool. And they can just feel like, you know, like the moon and like the tides and just weird like that. Like I don't really have Cancer in my chart, so it's hard for me to like say, but I've just had so many Cancers in my life that have always just been affected by the moon, and a lot of them love crystals and like they connect with that kind of stuff. They just connect with the moon. Like they have a weird connection with the moon that no other sign has because they're ruled by it, and it's just the craziest thing ever. But it's really, really cool. But yeah, Cancer moon people need a lot of reassurance for sure. They like to know that they are loved and they like to feel appreciated. Which brings me to the last point of people with a Cancerian moon, is that they do have a fear of abandonment, which is why they require a lot of reassurance. They are scared of being alone. I don't know if it's so much because of the fact that they don't like being alone, but I feel like they just like to feel safe, and when they're alone, maybe they just really don't feel as safe as they would as if they were with their family or friends or somebody that they feel comfortable with. So Cancers do fear abandonment, and don't screw over a Cancer, because I feel like they'll know how to screw you back over if you do that. Overall, these people are just very nice, sweet, safe people, and that is not an insult when I say safe either. I just mean that these people just they appreciate what they have in life, which is, I guess, kind of what I mean by safe. They really appreciate what they have. They just love their home, they love their family, they love comfort, they love to just feel at ease and at peace without really any external distractions around them. So that is all about Cancer mooned people. This brings me to our next zodiac moon sign for people who have a Leo moon. So Leo mooned people are definitely people who need attention and affection. They like to feel reassured as well. I feel like most moon signs like reassurance, and they like to, you know, feel that their love is being reciprocated back to them. I feel like that's like pretty much every sign of the zodiac, honestly. When it comes to the moon sign, considering it's your emotion, everybody kind of wants to feel, you know, what they give back to them, you know? Especially Leos too. Leos are very affectionate, loving people, and they definitely know how to show it. So people with a Leo moon, they really want that attention and affection to come back to them as well. They really like when they feel appreciated. And Leos too, they love compliments. They really do. Like if you compliment a Leo, they will literally like cherish that compliment. They love to feel, I don't know, they know they're the, and it's like when people tell them that they love that. They really they get so flattered by that. And it's the same thing with Leo moon. These people have so much affection, you know, and they want that affection given back to them, and they want people to compliment them, and they want people to give them attention because they love to be the center of attention anyway. The next thing to know about people with Leo moons is that they're very, very playful, flirty people usually. Anyone with a Leo moon is probably a very flirtatious kind of person because they love to play, like, and they're ruled by the sun, Leo. So the sun is all about inner child as well, and playfulness and, you know, stuff like that, just being happy in life, playing and having a good time, you know, and that's a Leo all the way. Even Leo moons, they love glamour, they love anything like shiny, sparkly, expensive, fancy. For example, if somebody sees like a Lamborghini like driving down the street, chances are they definitely have Leo in their chart, and they're like, oh my god, I love that car, like it's just so nice and luxurious. Yeah, Leo moon people, they really appreciate like expensive, fancy, nice, shiny things usually. They just love that stuff. Jewelry, glamour, sparkly, whatever. Like and Leo moon people always kind of tend to try and look their best, or sometimes they don't even need to try. Sometimes they just look their best, like without even trying. They just look like, I don't want to say bougie, but like they look, you know, put together. They look well done, usually, Leo moon people, for sure. The next thing about Leo moons is that they need non-stop entertainment. These people, like, have to be entertained all the time. Like, people who have a Leo moon, like, it's hard for them to really just sit down and, like, meditate or something like that and just sit in the silence. Like, they don't like doing that. So I guess their form of relaxing would literally be, like, laying down, maybe, but the TV has to be on. Like, they have to have some sort of entertainment, or they have to be, like, reading a book, or they have to be, like, just doing something, like, to keep their mind activated or to be entertained. And these are the type of people, too, that just love to go out, they love to have fun, they love to go on adventures. They're very, very fun people, people with Leo moons, for sure. They know how to have a really good time. But they do need that constant entertainment, though. So if that bothers you, think twice about being with a Leo moon. But these people are great, though. They love it. That's what makes them so fun and so playful, though, so it's great. Another thing about people with a Leo moon is that they really crave excitement and just somebody to celebrate their life with. They love having somebody to enjoy life with. Yes, Leos are generally very flirty people. They'll probably flirt, you know, with multiple people, whatever. If they're single, they'll probably talk to different kinds of people, whatever. But when it comes down to it, when a Leo moon person, or even a Leo sun, when a Leo really loves you, they will be loyal to you. They will put their heart and soul into you. They will put all their effort into you. They will put the effort into themselves first, but then they will put it to you as well. They really, really care about the person that they're with, and they just want to have a good time, like, with anybody that they're with. They just want to celebrate life and just enjoy life. Like, they love to go out, and if, you know, a Leo moon has your heart, like, just know that they're always going to want to have a good time with you, and there's never really going to be a dull moment with a Leo moon because they're very, very fun people. The last thing to really know about people with a Leo moon is that these people have a very strong sense of leadership that really needs to be expressed. Like, they like for people to see them as the boss, usually. Like, these people who have a Leo moon, they like to be in charge, they like to be the boss, they like to be in control. Not all the time, but usually, like, these people are generally leaders. They love for people to kind of look up to them in a way, because Leos, they are very confident people, and like I said in the beginning, they know that they're so they want other people to, like, kind of see that and kind of appreciate that. So it's like, that's why they kind of want to be the leader, because they know they can do, like, a good job, like, with whatever they're doing, like, especially in their work environment. I feel like a lot of Leos are the boss, like, manager, owner, entrepreneur, whatever. Like, they are just in charge usually. Like I said, not all the time, but, you know, if you have a Leo moon sign, you do really have that strong sense of leadership that you really want to express out into the world. Oh, and by the way, Leo moons, one more thing about them, a lot of them really love their hair. Like, it's just a Leo thing, like the lion's mane. Like, they love hair. Like, if they don't love their own hair, then they love the person that they have a crush on. They love their hair, or their mom's hair, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they love hair. Like, or either they love hair, or if they don't, they have really nice hair then. Some Leos just have really long hair or really shiny hair, just something about their hair that's just really, really nice that, like, other people generally don't have, but it stands out on the Leo. The next moon sign that I'm going to be referring to is the Virgo moon sign people. So if you have a Virgo moon, chances are you crave order in your life. You crave some type of schedule and some type of plan. Virgos love to plan. They're very, very meticulous people. A cool thing about Virgos is they notice every single detail about what you are doing. Like, even if you don't pick it up, it could be something so small that they will just notice. For example, if you literally just highlighted your hair, like, not even fully dyed your hair, just literally highlighted it just a little bit, like right there on the roots or right here on the tips, the Virgo moon is most likely going to be like, oh, nice hair, like, I noticed you dyed it and whatever. Virgo moons, Virgo risings, Virgo suns, these people just notice every single detail. I'm a Virgo rising, that's how I know that. We pay attention to detail, and especially Virgo moon people as well. They really pay attention to details very, very strongly, and They really need to have their life have some type of order, some type of schedule, some type of routine, whatever. They need like a plan in their life. If they don't have a plan in their life, Virgos, they're not very spontaneous people, so if they don't have a plan, it really stresses them out. And Virgos too really struggle with anxiety a lot. Being a Virgo rising, I do struggle with anxiety. It does happen to me a lot, and I know that's because I'm a Virgo rising. And Virgo moons, Virgo suns, they all have this problem because Virgo is just a very anxious sign for some reason. They need order in their life. They have to have it. It's something that they desire. Virgo moon people also love to feel as if they are of service or as if they're helping you. If you ever are like doing a homework assignment or something and you don't understand a question, go ask a Virgo, go ask a Virgo moon, go ask a Virgo rising, because they would love and try to help you. Like, they always love to put other people first and be of service to others. They want to know that they're benefiting people in some way by their knowledge and helping people, you know, be like them. I feel like a lot of Virgos want people to be like them. Virgos just hate idiots. They just do. They hate idiots, and they just wish everybody was as smart as they were. Another thing about people with Virgo moons is, like Geminis, they also need to have a lot of mental stimulation. Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication as well as mental stimulation. So both of these signs really, really need to have mental stimulation, especially if you're a Virgo moon too, because they need to have their mind going constantly, like especially when they're by themselves. Like, if a Virgo moon is like relaxing and taking a day by themselves, chances are they're probably still educating themselves or still using their mind in some way, whether that's doing research on a topic that they're very, very interested in, or taking notes on some news that's going on in the world right now, or whatever they're doing. Always need to like be mentally stimulated in some way, shape, or form. The next thing about Virgo moons is that they love analyzing and they love problem solving. So like I said, if you ever have a problem in your life, or like literally even a life problem, and you're just stuck and you just don't know what to do, go get advice from a Virgo, because they're gonna know the answer. They're gonna know what to do, because Virgo moons are just very, very smart like that. They can see every single side of a situation, and they automatically know what the right answer is. And the thing about Virgos too, they try not to really put their emotions to logic. Because they love analyzing and problem solving so much, they're really good at dealing with life, and they really know what the right answer is, like, all the time. So ask a Virgo for advice if you're ever stuck with anything. And like I said, really the last thing to know about Virgo moons is that they can be very anxious and very worrisome, but that's Virgo sun, moon, or rising. Just the sign of Virgo is just like that, and I honestly really am not sure why, but I'm probably gonna go look that up after this because I'm very, very curious. But yeah, they do have that anxious nature. I think it's just because they're very much perfectionists. Like, Virgos are perfectionists. They need everything that they're doing to be perfect. A lot of Virgos have OCD and just like they color code, or they like, you know, they have to have everything in order. If things aren't in order, it stresses a Virgo out. If they don't have a schedule, it stresses a Virgo out. If they are not organized, you know, and I'm not even talking about their house. Like, yes, a lot of Virgos are very neat people, so they do have a clean house a lot of the time, but there are some Virgos who are very, very like neat, but they're like neat in their own way, and their like house is messy, if that makes sense. Like, they're very, like me, for example, I'm a Virgo rising. When it comes to my house, I'm not gonna lie, I can be a slob. Like, I can leave a mess everywhere sometimes, but like when it comes to my videos, or when it comes to like schoolwork or something, everything has to be organized. The handwriting has to be perfect. Everything has to be in like color order. Like, Virgos are just very, very meticulous, and they're perfectionists, and when things aren't perfect, they get anxiety and it stresses them out. The next moon sign to talk about are people with Libra moons. People who have a Libra moon, they need harmony in their life, they need balance in their life, companionship, and equality. These people are literally all about fairness, and it makes sense too, because in tarot they rule the Justice card, which is all about fairness. And Libras are just like that. They are even the scales. That is their symbol for their zodiac sign. They are the scales, the balanced scales. They have to have equality. They have to have everything be fair. They have to have everything balanced in their life. And kind of like Virgo, like if they don't have their shit balanced, they are going to just get in their head and overthink things because they're an air sign. And air signs tend to overthink things a lot. But people with a Libra moon, they are very, very harmonious people. They're very peaceful people, usually talk very calmly a lot. Like they might not have the loudest voice in the room, but of course that depends on the other signs in their chart. But overall, people with a Libra moon, they just like to get along with everybody. They like everything to be fair. They like everything to be equal. Libra also rules the 7th house in astrology, which is the house of marriage and partnerships. So something that people with a Libra moon really crave is a companionship, a very solid, stable companionship. They love mutual love, and they love to know that the person that they're with is balancing out their life in a very equal and a very fair way. They have to have equal give and take in a relationship. If they don't have that's going to really hurt a Libra moon. Another thing about Libra moons is that they crave peace and aesthetic things. Anybody who has a Libra moon or even a Libra sun, they'll probably be the people who put plants like all over their house, decorate it very modern or boho-y, like, you know what I mean? Like they have to have everything peaceful, relaxed, calm, and it has to be beautiful. Libra, as well as Taurus, is ruled by planet Venus, the planet of beauty, love, and sensuality. And so people with a Libra moon, they have to have everything look beautiful. These people generally have very beautiful houses too, because they just love everything to look so beautiful, so perfect. Another thing about people with a Libra moon is that these people hate conflict, and they will do their best to avoid conflict. They just do not like it. They don't like to fight. They don't like to argue. They absolutely hate it. It's a big fear that they have. They like to keep the peace. That's Libra. They like to keep things fair, keep things equal, but they also like to keep the peace. And even though sometimes something may not be fair, if it's going to cause conflict, the Libra might just completely get out of the situation altogether because A, they don't want to deal with the conflict, and B, they don't want to deal with the fact that whatever they're not saying anything about is fair. You know what I mean? So they do not like drama. They just don't want to be near it. They don't want anything to do with it. Another thing about people with a Libra moon is that they usually have very tasteful clothing. These people usually dress very, very well. They usually have very, very nice style. They know how to dress and put themselves together because, like I said, these people are all about things that are aesthetically pleasing, beautiful, and stuff like that, so they want to make themselves look that way as well. Another thing about Libra moons is that these people really appreciate fine art. These are the type of people you could literally go take to an art gallery and they will literally spend all day there with you. They love art, they love appreciating it, they love looking at it, they love beautiful things, and art is super, super beautiful to them, and they just understand it in a way that like no other sign does. It just speaks to them, it calls to them. They love it. They really, really do. They love art. The last thing to know about people with a Libra moon is that they have very strong sense of justice, which I already explained kind of because they're the justice card in the tarot, but they really do. They're really all about being fair. A lot of people who have Libra in their chart are lawyers because they're just all about that fairness, or judge, police officers, whoever. Like they love for things to be equal and things to be right in life, things, you know, everybody to be happy, you know, not just themselves or not just the other person, but they just like everything to be happy, everybody to be peaceful, and everything to look nice and beautiful as well. This brings me to the next moon sign, which is people with a Scorpio moon. People with a Scorpio moon have trouble opening up to people. That is the first and foremost thing to know about people with Scorpio moons. They generally do not open up to people very well. They like to kind of keep their emotions to themselves. And so being a Scorpio moon, especially with the moon being the emotions, they're very, very enclosed with their emotions. They're very to themselves with their emotions. And that's really one thing to learn about a Scorpio moon. So if you have a crush on someone who's a Scorpio moon, just remember that it might take them a while to open up to you, and it's nothing personal. They just do that. They don't trust people easily. They don't really like to share their feelings right away with people. They like to give it time before they actually open up, because they're also a water sign, and water signs are very sensitive, so they want to make sure that when they're expressing their feelings to you that you feel the same way. Another thing about people with Scorpio moons is that they really, really need their privacy. They love having their space, they love having their time alone, It's something that they like need. It's not something that they want, it's something that they need. And these people can be very, very intense too with their emotions. Like, their emotions are so intense that a lot of the time they really need to be by themselves just so they can like, you know, like calm their emotions down a little bit, because they're just so intense. They really feel things hard being a water sign. Scorpios, that's the thing, when they fall for somebody, they really fall. So, you know, that's why they don't open up so fast, because they're already feeling it so intensely on the inside, and it's like they don't want you to see that side of them because, you know, they're scared of getting hurt. Another thing about people with Scorpio moons, kind of like Gemini, is soul bonding. These people love when, you know, somebody can connect with them on a soul level. They love to see other people's soul. They love for you to kind of see their soul in a sense, but without them giving away too much. But people who do have Scorpio moons, they really, really love to connect with other people on a soul level, on a 3D dimensional level. That's like more than just Earth. Like, they feel like things like crazy. They feel things like they're on the third dimension up there, like the outer dimension. They feel things like no other sign really feels. Like, these people really, really feel their feelings like very intensely. That these people have very strong sexual chemistry. Like, a lot of people say like Scorpios are very, very good at sex. That is a big thing with Scorpios, and I think it's because of the soul bonding and the intensity that they have. So if you're intimate with a Scorpio, they're gonna want to be on that like power couple kind of level with you. Like, that's the thing about Scorpios, like in relationships, especially Scorpio moons, it's like all or nothing with them. They will literally put their all into the relationship, but like if you're not giving them, they will totally dish you, they will totally ghost you, you know, they won't have anything to do with you anymore. Like, they need to make sure that you're reciprocating back, giving them reassurance. They need to make sure that the connection that they have with you is like a real legit connection, and not just something, not just a fling. Like, they want real love, Scorpios, they really do. Like, especially Scorpio moons, they really love to feel that soul connection with somebody on a whole different level. The last thing to really know about people with a Scorpio moon is that it's kind of hard to win over their confidence, but once you do, they will be some of the most loyal people you will ever meet. You know, once you have a Scorpio's heart, they won't cheat on you, they won't hurt you. You know, unless you f them over, they're not going to do the same thing to you. Scorpio people, you know, they have a hard time trusting you at first, but once they do, you know, they're yours forever. You know, they won't give up on you, which is kind of really cool about Scorpios. Like, they are very dedicated. They're a very dedicated sign, especially people who have it as their Scorpio moon. And their emotions. They're very, very, very dedicated people, for sure. Furthermore, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is Sagittarius moon. So the first thing to know about people with the Sagittarius moon is that these people need to have adventure. They need it. Like, they need it. If they are bottled up inside all day, forget about it. They will be a hot mess. They need to go out and adventure. They need to explore the world. Sagittarius is a very free-spirited sign. They're very, very adventurous. They love to be worldly and travel and have new experiences in life and make new memories in life. They really crave wisdom and variety as well. They love different cultures. They love learning new things. They love philosophy. Another thing about Sagittarius moon people is that they are very attracted to worldly, open-minded people. Like, Sagittarius is a very, very optimistic sign, so they love people who are optimistic. A Sagittarius is most likely not going to be with a pessimist. They're going to be with an optimist just like them. They love people who view the world in such a positive way like they do. And they love people who are open to experiencing new things, new opportunities, new memories, stuff like that. They're very, very open-minded, very worldly people. They like people who can go with them to like a new country or a new state. They love to travel like with other people and stuff like that. So that's really, really cool about Sagittarius. They just love that. They love the world. And so another thing to know about people with a Sagittarius moon is that they do get bored very easily. So they constantly kind of need to be doing something, going out somewhere. Like I said, they're very, very adventurous people. So it's kind of like from one adventure to the next with them. Like, well, first they're going to go to this restaurant, and then we're going to go to the beach, and then we're going to go to the movies, and then we're going to go back home, da 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 da. Like, they need to have like a bunch of things they're doing in one day. They cannot just like be doing the same thing all day. Like, it's really hard to see a Sagittarius in like an office job job where they're literally doing the same thing every single day, because people with the Sagittarius moon, they can't do that. They need to have variety. They need to have different things going on. They cannot just be doing the same thing all the time, because they get bored so easily, and they just need to constantly be stimulating their mind and constantly need to be experiencing new things, because they just do not want to miss out on life. The next thing to know about people with a Sagittarius moon is that they love to meet new people. They love to socialize with new people. They like to know about people's experiences, what they've done in their life, because this way they can learn from them, and they just find that so fascinating. They find other people's stories very fascinating, so they can learn from their experiences and put it to their own knowledge and use it for their own life. And the last thing to really know about people with the Sagittarius moon is that these people love to celebrate life. They, like I said, are optimists, and they don't want to miss out on anything going on in life. They absolutely love life, and they just want to experience it with people that they love, open-minded people around them, people who kind of just have the same goals as they do, just kind of want to live life, go big or go home, like to their extent. You know, they don't want to spend their days like just doing the same thing and wasting away their days. They want to literally cherish every moment that they have in this lifetime. The next moon sign that I'm going to be talking about are people with Capricorn moons. So the first thing to know about people with a Capricorn moon is that these people, just like Taurus, need to feel like that they're creating something that's long term. Like I said, it's ride or die with a Capricorn, because once you're with them, they're going to be with you till the end, because they like to plan out their future, and if they don't see you in their future, they're just gonna let you go. They need something long term. They need something stable. That is literally what they crave, is success and stability and long term things. Power is a huge turn on for them. Anybody who's a Capricorn moon really likes another person who has some sort of power and authority in their life. They just really, really love that. They really appreciate that. Capricorns are very, very like climb up the ladder kind of people. They work their off to get to where they want to be, and they kind of want somebody like that too. And they kind of like when people are kind of a leader. It really kind of fascinates them, and it turns them on, interestingly enough. And the next thing to know about people with Capricorn moons is that these people need somebody who is ambitious. They need somebody who has boundaries. They need someone, they like to have someone who's not afraid to set their own boundaries, because they're not afraid to set their own boundaries. They like to have a certain schedule for themselves, and they kind of like the person that they're with to do the same exact thing. They just like to be on the same page with their partner, like period, end of story, and they like to see a future with them, and they want them to see a future with them as well. Another thing about people with Capricorn moons is that they crave solitude. They do like being by themselves. Of course, they like to spend time with their loved ones as well, but when they get a chance and they do get their time alone, they really do appreciate it a lot, because they work so hard in their life, and when they get time to relax, they just really, really enjoy that. So they really do crave the solitude, and they just need their time to recharge, like, because they put so much effort into what they do, so they need to take time for themselves to recharge, because they're kind of like a car, you know? In order for the car to actually drive it, you need to refill it with gas, and it's kind of like that with a Capricorn. Like, in order for them to move on and keep going with their life and climb up the ladder and get to their success point, they need to take that time to recharge and rest, so this way that they can have more energy to keep progressing forward like they always do. Another thing to know about Capricorn moon people is that these people cannot always be very nurturing. They can be very distant at times and not always affectionate, and it's nothing personal with them. They're really, really focused on their goals, and sometimes they really just can't show that affection. Capricorns have a different way of showing affection. They show affection by action. They show affection by actually doing things for you rather than telling things to your face. They like to show you that they care rather than tell you. Because they're not very emotional people. They're very hardworking people, and they're very serious people. But they'll show you they love you through their actions rather than their words. And then the last thing to really know about people with a Capricorn moon is that they can be very depressed a lot of the time. And this is because they're ruled by planet Saturn, which is the planet of like hard times in your life and transformations and stuff like that. And so that really kind of takes a toll on them. It's weird. Every Capricorn I've ever met, they really have gone through like some hardcore in their life. Like they really have gone through things that they really needed to learn from and really had to go through in order to grow as a person, but the things that they went through were just so tough and so hard to deal with. And it's like Capricorns, especially people, Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moons, they always have to deal with like the hardest, and it sucks, but that's what they have to do, and it sucks, but it makes them be a stronger, better person. And I feel like that's why Capricorn is such a strong sign, and people totally underestimate them because they're always talking about how they're always so serious and da-da-da-da-da, but Capricorns, you know, they go through a lot and they come out really strong. So you know what? Props to you guys, Capricorns. Props to you guys. The next moon sign that I'm going to be talking about with you guys is an Aquarius moon sign. So Aquarius is all about humanitarian things. These people need to have friendships in their life. They really do. They crave to have friends, people that they can share their ideas with, people that they can collaborate with. They just really like that kind of stuff. And Aquarius moon people also really need their space as well. Aquariuses in general just need space. They really like their space. They like their free time. They like their alone time. They don't like to feel tied down. They don't like to feel like, they don't like to always have somebody telling them like what to do or, you know, kind of over their shoulder. They kind of just like to live freely and live their own life. And another thing about them is that they really crave individuality and a strong sense of power. These people, they're very independent people. They really like to do things by themselves, and they kind of like to, you know, take charge of that and like people to see them as a leader, kind of like Leos. Aquarius moon people can also be people pleasers. These people really do tend to get used a lot of the time, and I don't mean this in like a mean way, but these people, they do really care about other people on like a different kind of way. Like they'll make sure, they will literally go out of their way to do something for somebody that they care about, or just to do something for somebody. They'll go out of their way for it without question, without hesitation, because they really care about other people like that. They are people pleasers. They like to see smiles on other people's faces. And really the last thing to know about people with Aquarius moons is that it takes a really long time for this sign to settle down. They love their freedom. They love to go out. They love to be with friends. They love to be with, you know, other people. They just love to enjoy their time alone and enjoy their time going out. And like I said, they don't really like to be tied down. They don't really like to have somebody telling them what to do. They just kind of like to live their own life, and they're proud to live their own life. And that's really cool about Aquarius moons. That's really what I love about them, is that they don't really give a what other people think. They just kind of do them, and they just kind of like run their own life, and they don't give about what anyone else says. So go you guys, like that's what's up. These people too, they're usually technology savvy. These people are kind of detached from their emotions sometimes. Like even though they're people pleasers, they can still be detached from their emotions, and it's just because like they kind of keep them to themselves. Like they're very emotional people, but to themselves. Like they do not let other people see their emotions for some reason. They just don't like that. They just like to keep it to themselves, and that's that. But they're not, you know, they don't get too mushy in love. They just, you know, if an Aquarius cares about you, they really genuinely care about you, but they're not going to go out of their way and be like, I care about you, da, da, da. People who have Pisces moons, how you guys doing? I'm going to be describing to you guys right now people with Pisces moons. First of all, they need fantasy, they need escapism, they need compassion, security, as well as creative outlets. Because these people are highly, highly gifted, creative people. They love to create things. They love to make art. These people are very, very highly talented, and they're daydreamers. They also need security. They do. They need to know that they have a good foundation going on. They need to know that things are set in stone and that everything's going to be fine. A lot of people who have Pisces moon probably like Harry Potter or other fantasy related movies, because they just love like fantasy and stuff like that. They don't really like realistic things. I mean, some Pisces do, don't get me wrong, but many Pisces moon people, they really just like fantasy stuff. They like creative stuff, things that are just out of the normal, but things that are also very beautiful and very creative and very artistic. They really, really love and appreciate that. Another thing about people with Pisces moons is that they are very hard to read. And I feel like this does have to do with the fact that people say they're delusional, and I don't really like to say that, but you guys do get in your head a lot, and you guys do daydream a lot. And that could be another reason why you're hard to read, because it's like you guys are always thinking about other things, so it's like sometimes it's hard for people to kind of tell what you're thinking about, because your mind is usually like kind of thinking about everything and thinking about just creative, like weird stuff that like people don't normally think about. But that's what I really love about Pisces so much. They really think they can create the most beautiful forms of art that anyone has ever seen, and it's amazing. It really is. And it's so interesting too, because I don't even think people with a Pisces moon even know what they're thinking. Like their mind can think about things like so deep and in so much depth, to the point where it's like you're not even really sure, like they're not even really sure like what they're thinking. They don't even know how to explain how to navigate their own thoughts, because what they're thinking about is just so in depth, and it's like it's so hard for them to even describe what they're thinking. So I feel like that's another reason why it's kind of hard for people to read them in a sense. A lot of them are very, very spiritual. Seriously, like a lot of them have this weird connection to the spiritual realm. Pisces is the oldest sign of the zodiac, so they are the most connected to the spiritual realm. Hence to why a lot of Pisces moon or Pisces sun people are just very, very spiritual people. They feel things other people can't feel, and being spiritually inclined. And a lot of Pisces moon people as well are very, very good energy healers. Like a lot of Pisces moon people like know how to read tarot and know how to kind of see someone's energy and know how to fix whatever situation they're in, or like know how to make them feel some type of way or make them want to fix whatever kind of situation they're in. Pisces moon people are very compassionate, creative, amazing people who are usually all up in their head, but at the same time what they're thinking about is just beyond, out of this world, and they think about pretty much the most amazing things ever, but it's like nobody will ever know because they can't really explain it anyway. But we love you guys anyway, you creative, amazing people. So yes, everybody, that is my video for you guys today on every single moon sign that we have.